Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night, whatever time of day it is. It's good to see you. It's good to have you with us on the 6th video in our Lent video series. Yes, it's week 6 of Lent, or at least our 6th video. I don't know, the weeks have confused me now we've got to this point. But anyway, we're coming to the more familiar bits of the Easter story now. Today we're talking about Jesus' trial. This is where our story begins to get a little bit darker. The metaphorical clouds are coming over despite the sunshine around me this morning as I film. The rain is approaching. So we're going to read together from John chapter 19 and it's verses 1 to 16 if you'd like to follow along at home. Then Pilate had Jesus flogged with a lead-tipped whip. The soldiers wove a crown of thorns and put it over his head. They put a purple robe on him. "Hail, King of the Jews," they mocked as they slapped him across the face. Pilate went outside again and said to the people, "I'm going to bring him out to you now, but understand clearly that I find him not guilty." Then Jesus came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe. Pilate said, "Look, here is the man." And when they saw him, the leading priests and temple guards began shouting, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" "Take him yourselves and crucify him," Pilate said. "I find him not guilty." The Jewish leaders replied, "By our law he ought to die because he calls himself the Son of God." When Pilate heard this, he was more frightened than ever. He took Jesus back into the headquarters again and asked him, "Where are you from?" But Jesus gave no answer. "Why don't you talk to me?" Pilate demanded. "Don't you realise I have the power to release you or crucify you?" Then Jesus said, "You would have no power over me at all unless it were given to you from above. So the one who handed me over to you has the greater sin." Then Pilate tried to release him, but the Jewish leaders shouted, "If you release this man, you are no friend of Caesar. Anyone who declares himself a king is a rebel against Caesar." When they said this, Pilate brought Jesus out to them again. Pilate sat on the judgment seat on the platform that is called the stone pavement. It was about noon on the day of preparation for the Passover. And Pilate said to the people, "Look, here is your king." "Away with him," they yelled. "Away with him! Crucify him!" "What? Crucify your king?" Pilate asked. "We have no king but Caesar," the leading priest shouted back. Then Pilate turned Jesus over to them to be crucified. It's easy when you know the Easter story to forget the detail in this little bit of the Bible. For those of you who know the Easter story, it's very familiar, and yet if we were to see this today in our world, we would probably feel very different about it. Imagine the really high-profile criminal trial, the one that we're all invested in, the one that's being streamed all around the world. All the evidence has been presented and outlined, and there isn't even a tiny bit of evidence to suggest that this person is guilty. It wasn't even a case of wrong place or wrong time, and the judge says, "I find absolutely no evidence to find them guilty." The judge would keep reiterating this again and again, saying there is no evidence, they haven't done anything wrong. And yet the jury still conspire against them to find them guilty and put them to death. Now, I know, I'm fully aware that not all the detail transfers over. It doesn't all translate from 2,000 years ago. And I don't really know how this criminal justice system works outside of TV shows. But with that said, imagine the outroar. If this seriously did happen, there will be protests in the street, outside the courtroom. There will be huge financial campaigns to correct this injustice, to get the result overturned and the innocent person freed. People would just not go along with it, they wouldn't stand for it. And yet, this is exactly what happened in Jerusalem 2,000 years ago. Just like the week before on Jesus' triumphal entry that we talked about now 2 weeks ago, mob rule and peer pressure win despite the injustice. And yet, despite that injustice, that is the whole point of the Christian message. Jesus was completely innocent. He'd literally not done a single thing wrong. He hadn't told a white lie or spread a bit of juicy gossip. Pilate could see that, and he repeatedly tried to tell the people that. And yet, that didn't matter. He was still put to death, despite his complete whole life, all-encompassing true innocence. Jesus faced an extreme injustice, which ultimately led to his crucifixion. We probably won't face that level of injustice in our lives, but there will be times, undoubtedly, where we are faced with perhaps a more minor version. Despite the injustice that Jesus faced, it was all part of God's plan. And it was an injustice that he used for something far greater. Because of Jesus' sacrifice, you can be free. God can do the same for each of us. He can do the same for you. Whatever you face in life, whatever might come against you, God is bigger and better than those things. No matter how big or small it might feel, it's easier and better to do that, to face that with God. So I'm going to leave you to figure out how to respond today. I'm not going to pose my normal questions, but just know that through Jesus, God knows exactly what you're going through, no matter how terrible or dark it may seem.